so y'all just flip there.
All right.
Sweet. We're going to be reading a story tonight about a parable. Jesus tells a parable about the lost things. Don't you guys love how the Bible comes to life when you read it?
Now the tax collectors and the sinners were all drawing near to hear him. What is a Pharisee?
They were the religious teachers of the time, but they were really hypocritical.
So they pretty much had a plank in their eye?
Yeah.
And the Pharisees and the scribes grumbled, saying, "This man receives sinners and eats with them." So he told them this parable. What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he had lost one of them, does not leave the 99 in open country, and go after the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing.
#gains.
And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and his neighbors, saying to them, "Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep that was lost." Just so, I tell you, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance.
Awesome. Evan, do you mind picking up from there?
Yeah. Or what woman, having 10 silver coins, if she loses one coin, does not light? Wait, wouldn't she light it?
That's what it's saying. Who wouldn't light it?
Ah. Does not light a lamp and sweep the house and seek diligently until she finds it? And when she has found it, she calls together her friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice with me, for I have found the coin that I lost."
Must have been a pretty valuable coin, eh?
We don't know if it was of great monetary value, but what we do know is that it was very valuable to her.
Just so, I tell you, there will be joy before the angels of God over one sinner who repents.
Sweet. Thanks, Evan. Chase, will you read to 19?
Yeah. And he said, there was a man who had 3 sons.
Oh, I thought he had 2 sons.
Oh, you're right. And he said, there was a man who had 2 sons. And the younger of them said to his father, "Father, give me the share of property that is coming to me." And he divided his property between them. Not many days later, the younger son gathered all he had and took a journey into a far country. And there he squandered his property in reckless living.
So this man wasted a golden opportunity when all he had to do was stay at home?
Yeah, that's right, Stephen. Can you pick up from there?
And when he had spent everything, a severe famine arose in that country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. And he was longing to be fed with the pods that the pigs ate, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have more than enough bread, but I perish here with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants.' And he arose and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion, and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Bring quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring the fattened calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.'"
We see in this story that Jesus tells that each of these things were lost in a different way. The sheep, because it saw a gap in the fence and through its ignorance decided to take it. The coin, because of someone else's negligence. And the son, because he took what the father gave him, and with it he lost himself. The older son, because he was with the father, but he didn't really have the father. In each of these, Jesus emphasizes the agony of the one who's lost. The things don't really know that they are lost, but the father knows. The woman knows. The shepherd knows. And it's the father who is hurting and wants the things to return home. That is the heart of the Father, to seek and save that which is lost. Does your heart break for the lost?